Welcome back. Stasa23 here, back again with some knife therapy. And the knife today is the Civivi knives McKenna. This was a score from Blade Show. I'm not sure if this was just a Blade Show special or if they'll be producing more of these. You'd have to ask Zelric for that specification. This guy came in right around $95, I believe. It was either $95 or $85. I think like $20 more than the original version. And this version comes with this Raindrop Damascus, which is beautiful. I figured why not just get the fancy pants one, being that it wasn't gonna break the bank. This is an Elijah Isham design. I have several Isham designs that I can compare it with. And let's get into this one. Like I said, you have this Raindrop Damascus blade, this full flat ground, like warny shaped with a nice needle-like point there for piercing. Just gonna be a great lightweight EDC knife. You have the Isham hole that's in majority of his blades. It's sterile on this side and sterile on this side as well. That's nice to see. I think the original version of this comes in D2 with black G10, brown G10, and maybe olive green G10. And this one just came with the black G10. I think it would have looked pretty attractive if it would have had like a rosewood scale or something, especially knowing that they had other models with wood scales on there. But that's just my opinion. Just would have made it more classier. This is kind of like a gentleman style folder, very slim and sleek in pretty much every dimension. Let's get some quick specs out of the way. You have an overall length of around 6.5 inches with a little bit shy of 3-inch blade and a cutting edge of 2 3/4. You have a grip area of around about 3.5, a little bit over 3.5. You have a handle thickness of 0.40, so the average is about 0.5, so nice and slim in that dimension, and it can be very slim in this dimension as well at 0.899, so 0.9 inches. Very, very sleek, very slim. Like I said, super, super lightweight. Speaking of the weight, let's get a quick weight on this guy. 1.8 ounces. I mean, literally, you forget it's in your pocket. Let's see how many grams this is for my overseas people. 50 grams. So basically 51 grams. Very, 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 very lightweight. This is a front flipper, as you can see. The action on this is very, very nice, super smooth. And, just like any other front flipper I've ever had, it takes a little bit of time to get used to it, but I like to just add some pressure right there. D10 dialed in perfect. Snaps out. You can do the little rollover with the index finger, and you can do the little reach around because it's a liner lock. You don't have to worry about pressing on the lock bar, but I mean, it's just so snappy. It comes firing out. You do have a sharpening coil. They did get it past the plunge grind, but it's ground a little wonky in the back right there. It's amazing. If you get a chance to get one of these in hand, you're gonna see what I'm talking about of how lightweight this guy is. I mean, if you didn't see it whenever I weighed it. It comes in the Civivi box, just like all the others. Comes in the zipper pouch. You get the warranty information, and it did come with the cleaning cloth. I think I used it at Blade Show for something. Let's close it up. You do have a little bit of jimping right there that is perfect enough to get some grip on there when you do flip it. You have an internal stop pin, or stop pin is fixed to the blade and it rides on a little track, as you can see, cut out right there. You have black coated stainless liners. You have a back spacer that, I don't know if that's G10 or, let me see off camera. It may be a plastic backspacer. I'm not certain on that. Open it up. Let's see. It probably has milling. Yeah, you have internal milling in the liners right there. I mean, they did everything they could to keep this thing a featherweight. It is tip up right or left hand carry. You have a black coated stainless pocket clip. You have the Civivi logo on the pivot that's flush with the G10. You do have some milling on the G10, as you can see right here. That little scalloped out area, and then right here as well. And then it's flat right here. You do have a little bit of texture, but it is not very grippy, which I'm fine with. It kind of has that same feeling as the Vanguard series knives do, in my opinion. But I don't, what you could be using this knife for, I don't think you have to have some severe grip. You're not going to be putting that much downward force on it. The backspacer does come up 3/4 of the way. Let's see. Access to the lock bar. It does sit a little bit above the show side liner, and you do have some jimping there. There's your lockup right at 50%. No play up or down, left or right whatsoever. It's locked up solid. And like I said, easy access to that lock bar, super smooth. Even with that light blade, I can manage to shake it down and look, just let off that lock bar, and it just drops like a champ. Whenever I was handling this one and the standard D2 model, I noticed this one was a little bit smoother on closing. I couldn't shake the D2 model down that easily. I'm guessing it's because they probably had to polish up the internals because of the Damascus. They probably had to polish that up. I haven't taken this guy apart. Maybe I will. I know I had one subscriber that asked me if I could do a disassembly of this guy, and I will try to do that. Like I told him though, not a lot of people watch those videos, so it's kind of hard doing certain videos like that when not, I mean, I do these for y'all, and if nobody watches it, then I don't really want to do them, so we'll see. This guy is ground decently thin, or, you know, thinner than your average blades, I guess you could say. Thinnest portion was 18 thousandths, and it's ground at 16 degrees per side, or the secondary bevel 16 degrees per side. So it's been a pretty good cutter. I haven't had enough cutting on this guy to be able to definitively say how well this Raindrop Damascus performs. I asked him what was the Damascus made of, and I think this is a proprietary blend that we does in-house, so they couldn't give me that. I think they're trying to keep it to themselves so they don't have other people trying to knock off their formula. I could be wrong about that. That's what Zorik had told me. And in my cutting, you know, I mainly, with this guy, I mainly cut up cardboard, packages, envelopes, all the lightweight duty task things that I usually do. I did shave some soft pine just to get a feel for the ergonomics on this guy. Even with this thin handle and this choil area, I was able to get a good enough grip. Some things I did notice whenever I was squeezing this guy pretty hard is that this clip comes up pretty high, and I was kind of feeling this backside of this clip in the palm of my hand just because of how thin this is. And other than that, it was a really good cutter. Let's see what it looks like in the pocket, then I'll give you a few size comparisons and we'll wrap this guy up. It does have a deep carry clip, and we will talk about another complaint I have on this guy. Probably my biggest complaint about this knife. And there you go. As you can see, it went in this hole. It sits rather deep in the pocket. So, I mean, all you have is that sticking up and it's all black. But I will say that that first pocket clip screw, being that they didn't countersink the pocket clip screws, on certain fabric, it was getting bunched up in that screw, and I wasn't able to pull the knife out of my pocket. It became a chore. At first I was pulling up on this, but it wasn't that, because the retention's fine going in and out of the pocket. It was just getting stuck up behind that screw. So I really wish they would countersink these screws or use flatheads, like flat face screws, so they could get them down further. That would be a great improvement. You don't always see an issue with it, but a lot of times also when you have these deep carry clips and you don't have countersunk screws, a lot of times it'll get caught up by that screw and it'll stop right in front of that, so you'll have that much sticking out and it doesn't go all the way to the end. So just a minor complaint. I know my buddy, Everyday City Carry, Ray, he took that first screw out this way, and he said it worked a lot better. So maybe I'll do that eventually, or I'll try to find some replacement screws that have flat face screws on or flat heads on them. So let's get some quick size comparisons with some other Isham designs. I didn't realize I have 4 other Isham designs. I might have another, I don't know. The first, another Civivi, is the Raindrop, I think it's called. Forgive me if I'm wrong, but you know, he's got some pretty interesting names. At least in McKenna, that's probably the easiest one to remember. So as you can see, the Raindrop is a good bit longer in the blade. It's not that much bigger in the handle, but I will say, I haven't done a video on this guy yet, but I will say the ergos are much better for me with this guy. I think the McKenna has been the best ergos of all the Ishams I've owned, and you're about to see all the ones I've owned. The next one is the Abstruse model, and these two are pretty much identical in size. The McKenna might be just a hair longer. You have more cutting edge on the McKenna, and you have a better, longer grip area on the McKenna as well. And also we have the Isham Pleroma. These two are pretty close in size. The Pleroma is just a hair bit longer than the McKenna. And the last of the Isham designs is his Black Star. Now the Black Star is a small knife. It's comfortable for how small it is, but it's a very small knife. There you go. Some non-Isham designs for size comparisons. You have the drop or mass drop. This was a mass drop at the time knife. Ferrum Forge Falcon, and these two are almost the same exact length. You have a little bit longer blade in the McKenna. You definitely have longer cutting edge. You have about the same grip area in those two. And last, but certainly not least, the Kaiser Mini Domen, and these two are pretty much identical in size as well. Oh, sorry about that. So there you go. So my overall thoughts on this knife, excellent. Like I said, excellent gentleman's carry. If you need a lightweight folder, this guy, you're gonna forget you have it in your pocket. If you want to get a good budget front flipper, this guy has some amazing action and it's very addictive. I can sit there all night and do that, and my wife gives me the dirty look, but it definitely has a great action. Nice and comfortable, ground pretty nice and thin. It's going to be a good cutter, disappear in the pocket. So definitely a win on this. Even in the D2 form, I might even pick up that one just so I can kind of compare the two steels. But the D2, in my opinion, would be a win as well. So if you have any questions, comments, concerns, please leave them down below. Give you one more quick shot of this blade, that nice sexy blade right there. And just your G10 handles. I may eventually make either a set of micarta or some nice wood scales for this guy. We'll see. They're nice and thin. I don't know if I have any material that thin, and I don't have any way to thin it out. So there you go. Like I said, if you have any questions, comments, concerns, please leave them down below. If you're not already subscribed and you like my videos, hit that subscribe button. And while you're at it, hit that bell notification and that like button too. There you go. Peace. Peace.